can't feel what you did, it was just this magical thing that happened that you're going to be searching for forever and ever. You know, I magically did a step in a fight once, and it took me weeks and weeks to figure out how to do it again, because I didn't know what happened. So right now we're just going to start, and all I want you to do is relax, without any hips really or anything, and just let your sword move your arm, and feel where it wants to flip. Feel that transition. When you can understand your sword, you know where it wants to flip, that's the magic spot. So right there, that's the balance point, that's the transition. As you're going through the perfect technique and you're rolling, when you feel that as you're transitioning to your next blow, that's when you know you can go. If your sword hasn't reached that natural progression and you try and push it, well, now you're bleeding all kinds of stuff out and you're having to engage all kinds of muscles. But when you feel that flip, that's your sword right there in a nutshell. The secret of understanding the sword is when you understand the rules that it wants you to play by, you can bend those rules a little bit. The better you with your technique, the better you are with your core, you can bend those rules more and more. But that basic, perfect snap, that perfect wrap, it's based on this happy little transition point with your sword.
Leave your wrist loose, leave your hand loose, just let the arm go. What's happening is your radius and your ulna are doing this, okay? Because they twist and then they untwist. So they don't really like to run next to each other. And you twist them and they create tension. That's what they do. And that's why if you try to turn your wrap too soon, as opposed to when it wants to turn, because there's a point right there, it wants to turn. If I try to turn it too soon or I try to turn it too late, then I'm pulling all these tendons in my elbow, and then I'm in pain. And if your elbow hurts, one of the things that happened to me is that my tendons, being very strong, because I'm very strong, is that my tendons actually pulled my ulna out of joint. To the point that everybody told me I had tendonitis. Everybody said, oh, you might need elbow surgery. And then a lovely chiropractor put my ulna back in place, and it all worked just fine.
That's a little experience.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah, I thought my career was over. But if you pay attention to your body, it's going to turn over where it's going to turn over. If you're done fighting and your elbow hurts, you need to look back to your technique.
It's all about technique. It's this foundation we're building to not hurt ourselves. So let's thumb up, the back of the blade up. Leg still shoulder width apart. We're going to go see it. This would, I guess, be backwards. We're going to drop it in front to where it wants to transition, control it, bring it up in front of you, and flop it down. So now the edge is up, back edge is down, around the head, without moving your body. Point to here, straight back out. So we want this nice line. We're following one single line, and then we turn it with our hand. Everybody feeling that? Everybody feel okay? If you don't, if something's weird, let me know. I can come around, but that's all we're going to do right now. I'm trying not to move my shoulders and head. And just kind of sit it in here, lift it in your face, around the back, and point again. One nice plane. I'm keeping my hand fairly straight with it. I'm not letting my hand relax too much, except right to here, kind of flip and around. Okay? Now we're going to do something different. Right here. Now this time when it comes down, I'm going to relax a little bit. And I want you to follow it with your hips. So you come down and turn, bring it up to here. Now we're going to do this magic thing. Now you're not going to move your arm. You're just going to turn your body and rotate your toes. And we're going to do it again.
Not your heels, your toes.
So now face the direction of your belly button where your sword is. We're going to face it. We're going to come around, turn your toes, bring it up, and around, and down. So as you do this, and it becomes this natural hip and toe rotation, the beautiful thing about this motion is a wrap and an offside snap. So from here, from this motion, there's my outside snap, right? This first part of it is the wrap. This part right here is a wrap. So if I, instead of throwing in front of me, if I start here and I do it beside me, there's the wrap, outside snap. So I can throw it beside my body too. So learn that. I think I can even do it on this. That's harder. I haven't practiced over here yet. I just figured this out this morning. So this motion, and when you get comfortable with this one, now we put it back out here, feet shoulder width apart, and you bring it to your back. Bring it around your head, point, and we come down through the back. So look here, this is now a nice flat snap, offside return. So this one motion limbers everything up. Before I start fighting, every time I make a new sword, this is the exercise I do. I'm learning how to be friends with my sword. Learning how it wants to move with my hips, learning how it wants to move with my toes. I'll even start, I warm up like this. I walk across the area and I just kind of figure out how it wants to move. The cool thing is, once you get that done, people ask me, how do I fight offhanded? You practice. So here we go. I put it in my offhand now, and I'm going to practice this in my right hand, because now my right hand needs to learn how it moves with a sword. My right hand loves to have a sword in it, because it never gets one in it. But my hips move different.
That arm has been on your body your whole life, and now it's an alien.
So this basic motion, and thankfully people are videotaping this so you can watch it and practice it. Look in a mirror, real just simple. I mean, it's just as simple. It's moving just fast enough so the sword gets some of its own inertia, some of its own personality. And you can feel the difference. You might say, I'm going to put a thrust on my sword. Okay, I go out and do this. Oh, now it wants to break a little bit different. So I have to learn when it wants to break now. And it's all about finding the truth. What we're doing out here is we're just trying to drill through all the BS and perceptions to get down to what's real. My job as your opponent, what?
It's not.
Oh, my job as your opponent is to make you believe the lies I want to tell you. I want you to believe that I can't hit you with a flat snap of a to hit you. I want you to believe that because I'm so relaxed, I have to generate tension to hit you. Because really, I'm just trying to get faster. I'm trying to relax everything and be gentle. I want you to feel like this. I'm just a happy little bunny out for a stroll. I can't possibly bang hurt you.
We all believe you're a bunny.
Yeah, that's it. So just this stuff, and this will help your hips too. You know, you get your hips going, nice, comfortable width apart. Just turn your body. Don't ever get your knee past your toe. Other cardinal rule with knees: knee always goes the same direction your toe is going. Anytime your knee is not going the same direction your toe is going, you're going to be calling for a urgent because your knee is suddenly not happy. So if you want to go that way, your knees and toes point that way. You know what else that means? If your opponent's knees and toes are pointed that way, guess which way they're going to go? Now, that's not always true. They have to go that way initially, but they can push off. It's a big tell if you're paying attention to my feet. If I step here, I'm not going that way anymore because my toes are going this way. But if all you're worried about is this big stick here, sweet.
Well, I have news for you. I'm not looking at your feet very often. I've got you things in the way. I'm trusting.
So, simple drill, but man, this is the foundation of my technique in fighting. This tells my body how I have to step to throw a wrap, and how I have to initiate that flip. And once I'm here, what do I have to do if he changes weight? Boom, I gotta turn everything back. And I feel awkward for just a second until I fall that way. I practice, we tried this at my house the other day, but we practice falling down. I step up to my pellet and throw my butt up to see where my feet have to go. If I know where they have to go, then I don't have to worry about when I'm out there. I just, follow this direction. I know I can take a double step and come right back into it, because I practiced that over and over and over again. As soon as I figured out that what I had done was a step ball change, I stood in my pellet and I practiced 1, 2. And the first few tournaments, I would actually have to count in my head, 1, 2, step. And now I don't have to count anymore, but it's practice and practice and practice. Feel what you're doing, it's key. Everything else, doesn't matter what you win. When you feel something, that's a win. That's a goal.
All right, go get lunch, eat foods. Octa and I are available for you guys to chat.